I think who you are depends on where you are. Not entirely, no, but I don't think I would be the same person if I wasn't from San Diego, for better or for worse. And after reading the novel Drift by Jim Miller, I think that a place is its own person. This edition is missing its sleeve, but we wouldn't judge a book by its cover, right? I don't think Drift could take place in any other setting than San Diego. I also think that any other border city would be a perfect setting for a novel like Drift. There's one line that Miller wrote that really resonated with me. The California building announced an illusion of a romantic Spanish past that had never existed. It was a concrete manifestation of the desire for history without blood. Joe could almost see docile, humble Indians coming in for a mass led by a benevolent padre. It was a gorgeous delusion, a marvelously seductive lie. It truly is a beautiful building. I've never been to the top, but you can pay for a tour up there. Every aspect, every blade of grass is perfect in Balboa Park. Trust me, I've taken advantage of many resident free days to know. It's the biggest jewel in the crown of America's finest city, right next to the San Diego Zoo and Petco Park. Drift opens with our protagonist Joe walking through Balboa Park and the neighboring neighborhood of Bankers Hill. After receiving a rejection email for a job of assistant professor of English at South Bay College. And for the first time, I was reading about places that I was intimately familiar with. I knew where he was, and although many things have changed since the decades in which this novel occurs, it's in the park where we get that aforementioned quote, "History without blood." Funnily enough, it's a thought I've had before about San Diego. San Diego is a military town with Navy, Marine, and Coast Guard bases. These threads have been tightly woven in San Diego culture. Me personally, I spent a lot of time in Camp Pendleton, which is a Navy base, growing up as a North County kid who went to a Black Christian church in Oceanside. Everyone here knows someone in the military. But when you mix this military culture with San Diego's Mexican population, you begin to understand the city's Republican quiet past, especially when you take into account that San Diego actually has the most native tribes in the country. There is no American city without blood. The only buildings with beautiful Spanish architecture outside of Balboa Park are going to be in Old Town, which is another tourist destination, and the missions. You know, those missions that were built to forcibly convert indigenous and Mexican people into Catholics, yet still hold Mass every week. At least the missions in San Diego do have museum sections to them. At no point was there anything more. Which is why San Diego lacks the cultural relevance of Los Angeles and San Francisco. Outside of what? Top Gun? Which is a military movie. San Diego is, simply put, boring. It's why they built Balboa Park to be appealing to tourists. And all of what I've said seems critical, and it partially is. But I don't think it's a coincidence that San Diego grew to being what it is today. I mean, I just went to the beach to film myself recording some book lines for a final the other day. There are so many positives to being in San Diego. I think it's a good place to drift. I mean, if you don't know who you are, but you're not quite ready to find out, San Diego is stable and beautiful. It's the best food in the country. Double it if you like Mexican and Mexican American food. I had the best California burrito in my life at this place called La Playa Taco Shop after I filmed that video for that final I just showed you. The weather is perfect. It's only snowed once at my house, which was apparently back in 2014. Wow, the time is really flying. It's been made so perfect that everything that makes it interesting has been buried beneath the soil. And I think that's a shame, Because even if you don't have your next job lined up, you can at least eat carne asada fries at the beach in shorts in December. I think Miller does an amazing job depicting San Diego as a place for the in-betweeners, while also telling the history how it is. Well, amazing if you can afford it.